Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your July 2023 tarot card reading. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. For those of you who are new, my name is Jane. Thanks to all for being here. July is a really cool month. We have a lot of astrological transits happening. We have a Venus retrograde going on. We have a nodal transit going on. Chiron is retrograding as well. So I think it's going to be kind of an eventful month, but it's going to be really, really good at the same time for most of us. So these videos are tarot predictions. So be sure to watch your sun, moon, or rising sign, whichever resonates with you the most. If you're here for love, you can also check out your Venus sign. I will be posting astrology videos as well, but I'm going to start posting those around the middle of the month so we can kind of cover the transition from one sign into the next. So in that video, I will absolutely be talking at length about the Venus retrograde, the nodal transits, and all the other things that are going on. So be sure to stay tuned for that. If you want to be notified, please be sure to hit the little subscribe button with the little bell so you can see that notification. I've been getting so many messages of people asking me, Jane, where have you been? I haven't seen you in forever. And I've been here. So just make sure you hit that because I think some people just aren't seeing my videos pop up. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get into the reading. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing month. Take care. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your July 2023 tarot card reading. So we're going to get started here with a card signifying what the universe needs from you this month. Okay, the Devil. First of all, it's really important to talk about the fact that the South Node, which has been in your sign since the end of 2021, is now finally leaving. And that South Node in your sign can sometimes feel like a shedding of an identity. You maybe, quote unquote, lose an aspect of yourself for the sake of gaining a new identity. And maybe you're still trying to figure out exactly what that is. I think as that South Node leaves, you're going to have a much better handle on things. But the Devil comes through to remind you that some really high quality things take time. And if you're dedicated and if you're committed, and if you keep the promises that you've made to yourself, that truly anything is possible. The Devil has a relationship with the material world. And when we're talking about something like manifestation, this is actually can be, I'm not saying it always is, but it can be a perfect fit. Because when it comes to manifestation, the whole point is to bring it into your physical experience, because it doesn't really do you all that good just being in your imagination. So I have a feeling that the actions that you're about to take throughout July, August, and even on into September are going to be very effective in bringing things into actualization. That's the beautiful thing about once we hit that solstice, right? June 21st, we hit the solstice, we have Cancer season, we have Leo, we have Virgo. These are the 3 months where our actions and our choices are really, really powerful, okay? And they kind of, it's like from this point, they trigger a whole new thing. So choices are very important right now for Scorpio especially, because of that South Node leaving. And you kind of have a blank slate a little bit. And you also have the benefit of Jupiter being across from you, which can be really blessing oriented. Okay? So who is in the environment that you need to be aware of, Scorpio? We have a Court card, which is a Knight of Swords. Now, please do not be afraid or worried or concerned if something needs to run away from you. This might be a person, but it may also be an opportunity that doesn't really work out. The thing with this card here is that his back is turned. And to me, that's the most prominent feature of this card right now. His back is turned and he's running away. So something is not coming into your life. It is leaving your life. But chances are the reason for that is because you've already set some stuff in motion You've already set intentions, you've already been working, you've already been doing things, and you've gained some degree of momentum. And it's inevitable that certain things will not be able to stick around. And I think with that Knight of Swords, it's not able to stick around. So even though sometimes this can hurt, or it can be frustrating, or it can feel like you have to kind of take an L with something, right? Take a loss with something. It's not really a loss. I think it's a gain in disguise. This is clearly not something that you're likely aligned with. This is not something that your heart is truly calling you for. It's possible that your ego or your mind is calling you toward this. But I think right now the manifestations are happening from a much deeper, more subconscious realm. So even though your kind of lower conscious mind is going one way, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way your life is going to go. Okay? When you manifest from the soul, it kind of always works out. And I think you don't really have a choice. I don't think anyone does right now. The souls are very active. The higher consciousness is very active, especially for those of you who are, healing and working on yourself and genuinely hoping for, something more fulfilling and whatnot. I have a feeling that this Knight of Swords gave you a feeling of grasping or a feeling of desperation, and that is not the place that your soul is wanting to manifest from. All right? Those types of feelings, the grasping, the desperation, is just, it's very superficial, okay? Throughout Cancer season, this is an opportunity for us to align our hearts with our minds. And when we find that alignment, that is when we often feel a straight path and we can take inspired action toward things. And because we're taking action toward manifestations and the actualizations of things, it's likely going to happen more quickly than we realize, okay? So don't be worried about that Knight of Swords. That's just in the way. If we're being honest, it's just in the way. So what else for Scorpio for July 2023? We have 5 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. So there might be a little bit of an internal battle going on. Sometimes that 5 of Swords can be internal within yourself. Sometimes it can happen with someone else, probably a Knight of Swords. But this is not, like, even if you win, you still don't win with the 5 of Swords. Like, if it's an argument, if it's some type of an issue that continually arises, and sometimes it feels like you're just beating your head against the wall, and as much as you would like to think you're right, it doesn't even matter if you're right, because being right doesn't solve the problem. And 5 of Swords can go around and around and around and around again. Anyone who has been in any kind of a quote-unquote toxic or an unhealthy type of relationship of any kind, romantic or otherwise, knows that round and round and round again. And you may find yourself in yet another round of this and catch yourself. Sometimes when we're there and we catch ourselves, it's a very powerful thing, actually, to be able to catch yourself in that scenario. And I think with that 9 of Wands, this is putting a stop to it. Now with these 2 cards, it makes a lot of sense why the Knight of Swords is running away. Because when you really do finally put up that boundary and you finally draw the line and you finally say enough is enough, someone's not going to be able to handle that, or something isn't going to be able to come into your life, because chances are whatever this Knight of Swords was manifested during a time that this was occurring, and therefore had somewhat of a vibrational match. If we can talk about this in kind of a new agey kind of way, this is a vibrational match for the 5 of Swords, but when you put a stop to it, this isn't going to be able to come in. And I think you're trading your 5 of Swords for something more beautiful with that Knight of Cups. I think this is Scorpio with a sense of optimism and a sense of hope and a sense of romance and poetry about life, right? And I said, like, a poetic approach to life is what I mean by that. You're in this place where you're wanting to romanticize things. This is one of the beautiful things about Jupiter, and not in a delusional way, but just because this kind of sucks. The Five of Swords, it's not good for anybody. It just kind of sours the experience of life. And with the Devil here, and maybe that Devil is also surfacing up a lot of that shadow stuff, which is very common when that card comes out. But it starts to surface for the sake of being addressed. And so when things surface, we have to deal with it, but then we can also move on from it as well. It seems like your manifestations are trying to get through. And when I say they're trying to get through, they're trying to come through from the inside out. It's not from the outside in. So if you're sitting here like, where's my boyfriend? Where's my girlfriend? Where's the job? Where's the new apartment? Where's the new whatever? Like, if you're looking outside, you're not going to see it coming, right? It's not going to come. This is coming from an internal transformation. And this has a lot to do with Pluto on that fourth house cusp. It's going to be there for like 2 years. All right. So this plutonic transformation is changing you in your core at the deepest molecular level that is possible within a human being. All right. So this seems like it's just kind of one of the first moments where you have to kind of draw this line and say, enough is enough. And it might be an aspect of yourself that you're getting fed up with. It might be some kind of a habit, some kind of a friendship that you hold, or some kind of just recurring theme that you keep telling yourself, I'm going to quit, I'm going to quit, I'm going to quit. Well, this is probably the month that you can actually like really quit if you want to. Because I think you have your eyes set on truly becoming that person that you've been talking about becoming for a long time. That south node can be a hindrance a lot of times. It can be a sinkhole. And it's like the more and more you try to define who you are and define everything, the more and more it seems to slip through your fingers. It's very difficult to have any semblance of an identity when that south node is involved. But now that it's leaving, you get to reconstruct this identity, which means you get to reconstruct it in any way you want. And you get to back it up with action. And that Devil is coming through, indicating that there might be some discipline involved. Hold on, the Seven of Cups just fell on the floor. Okay. So we got the Seven of Cups there. Queen of Swords. Let's see, I love the Fool, and I actually love the color. If you notice, there's a lot of blue. Even in this card here, there's just like a lot of blue. And then we have this giant pop of yellow. And the Fool really aligns a lot with that Knight of Cups. It feels like your heart is open. It feels ready. It feels enthusiastic and excited. Now, the Queen of Swords also feels like an aspect of you. Knight of Cups and Queen of Swords is different parts of you coming out. This is the part of you that is hopeful and happy and wants to romanticize their life and wants to live that romanticized version of their life. But the Queen of Swords is maybe a bit more strategic and practical than that. Okay, this is the part of you that wants to have a plan, that has that 10,000 foot perspective and knows kind of exactly what needs to be done in order for this identity to be actualized. The Queen of Swords is the part of you that doesn't want to run away from yourself, that wants to hold yourself accountable and wants to live up to your own expectations, okay? And here we have the Seven of Cups. It's interesting how that's aligning with the Five of Swords, because this feels like a really like a nothing is going to come out of this situation type of situation. Nothing's going to come out of it. It feels like a void of course moon almost. Just weird. There's no end in sight. There's no solutions. There's no collaboration. There's no cooperation. It's just kind of this big open-ended thing And no one, and whoever is involved, if this is an actual person, again, it might be a single person, it might be multiple people, it might just be an opportunity. Sometimes companies or people, hey, I want to hire you, let's talk, and then they just keep talking and they never actually do it, right? That kind of feels like what's happening here. But at a certain point, Scorpio says, I'm tired of talking. You're either going to do it or you're not. We're either going to make it happen or we're not. And if you don't do it, then I'm going to move on. And I think, Scorpio, many of you are going to be moving on. This is a don't mess with Scorpio type of month. Scorpio might be on a little bit of a rampage, but like in a good way. This has a lot to do with Venus retrograding in your 10th house. All right, because that 10th house has a lot to do with the direction of your life, has a lot to do with what you contribute to humanity. And if there is something that is just not valuable, or it's not only is it not valuable for you, but it's not valuable for anybody, that's the type of thing that's going to be under scrutiny and reevaluation with the Venus retrograde. That reevaluation component can be a lot. And there can be casualties with that, like people they might lose. They might be on the losing end of that. So, if you're cross-watching for a Scorpio, make sure you're bringing value into their life, because they have a short fuse a little bit right now. Very little patience. If it doesn't fall under the purview of a new exciting opportunity that a Scorpio can be passionate and excited and truly attached and connected to, if that's not the case, then it's going to go by the wayside big time. And that Queen of Swords is not afraid to wield that sword. Remember, a sword is a weapon. It is not a teddy bear. All right, a sword has double edges. It cuts deep. And sometimes when someone is provoked to use their weapon, well, then you can't be surprised by the price. You can't be surprised. You provoke, you pay the price. Scorpio has that stinger for a reason. It's to protect itself. And the thing that you're protecting is your future. The thing that you're protecting, Scorpio, is your passion. It's the fulfillment and it's the joy in your life. So, Scorpio may be going cold a little bit. I don't think Scorpio likes to go cold. That's not really, at least my experience with Scorpios, not cold people at all. They have to be pushed really, really far. It's kind of like a Libra too. It's like, I would say like Capricorn is a little bit better at cutting things off because of that Saturn rulership there. But Scorpio, I don't know. It wants to hang on. It's a fixed sign. It doesn't like saying goodbye to things. And as much as we, in trendy astrology talk about Scorpio being all morose or whatever, it's actually an extraordinarily love-oriented sign. It's about energetic exchange. It's about connection and intimacy. And, they don't want to let that go. So provoking a Scorpio to do something that they don't want to do, you're going to deserve what you get, I think. I love the Ace of Cups. I love the Sun. I love the Three of Cups. To me, this feels light. And I think as we make our way into Leo season, once you do kind of lay down the law a little bit, I think you will feel elated, Scorpio. And I look at that Ace of Cups and I think you find a potential with something that's worth your time and energy and resources. It's like you supplement or you replace rather a drainage, right? A drainage or a leakage of energy or resources in one area, and then you replace it with something overflowing, which is like, wow, this is going really well. This is exciting me. This is, giving me a sense of purpose. It gives me something to wake up in the morning for. It gives me all sorts of reasons to keep going and to keep pushing. And with that sun coming out, we're getting the sun quite often this month. And I think that's because of the activation of Leo, right? The sun coming into rulership. And also plus it's the solstice. So the sunlight is just really, really strong right now. So there's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of life being breathed into things. There's a lot of fruit growing. All right. So when it comes to the manifestations, manifestation and creation are often intrinsically linked. So for the sake of your manifestations, you are going to have to create some stuff. And the creativity may have been stifled because of what the heck was going on here. But the minute you draw this line and you say enough is enough, this sun like starts to radiate and it starts to grow and it starts to become everything that it's supposed to become. And I look at the Three of Cups and I say, Scorpio, you have some wonderful people around you that are supportive and loving, and it's okay to go out and have a good time and have fun and, you know, spend time with people that make you laugh and give you a sense of connection with others. You know, this is going to be a good time for you just kind of push that reboot button. I don't know why I just got this image when I was a kid, you know, those old Nintendos where you would like blow, you have to reboot and blow in it, make sure there's no dust or anything. I'm kind of getting that kind of reboot, you know, it's just a little aggressive, maybe a little bit excessive, or you wish that you didn't have to do it that way, but I think you do. You have to kind of, do a little bit of a deep clean in order for this reset to really stick. But ultimately, you have a good support group. You have friends and family and people around you, even if it's just one person to kind of be your cheerleader and tell you to keep going. Everyone is going to support this lovely sun energy, you know, because they see what it does to you. I think this lights you up. It gives you a reason to smile. It gives you a reason to feel truly alive. But it all really comes down to how willing are you, Scorpio, to let this leave and walk away, and to acknowledge that this was probably never a part of the original, or it's not a part of your soul's plan, if we can say it that way. And to stand really firm and strong here with that Nine of Wands and lay down the law a little bit in order to protect the kind of life that you want to have. You get to rewrite the script on who you are now that that South Node is leaving. If you've been down on yourself the past year and a half, like I'm not a Scorpio rising, but I do have a lot of planets in Scorpio. My moon is in Scorpio. And it was, for me, with all my health stuff, it's just been a really freaking hard year. Like I would say 2022 was like the worst year of my life, hands down. South Node dragging up against some pretty difficult planets for me. So, you know, it may not be money related. It might just be how you feel about yourself. You know, it might be health related. It might be money. It might be career. It might be romance, but it just might be, you know, you hit a bout of depression, or just things weren't going well and it felt like you were losing a lot. If that was the case, I'm not saying every Scorpio was going through that. A lot of Scorpios may have had gains, but the question is if you gained or you earned a lot, did it really make you feel the way you expected it was going to make you feel? You know, and if not, then I think it's time for a reassessment. Okay, final card, we have heartache and loss. This does not surprise me given kind of what's going on here. I think that's an inevitability. That's the sacrifice. For the sake of your Fool, for the sake of your Sun and your Knight of Cups, for the sake of the happiness and the ease and the contentment and the affluence and the abundance and prosperity, there have to be things that go by the wayside, and that's just kind of the way it's happening. And I think it's the Knight of Swords. Okay, now I'm going to pull out some cards, some clarifiers. I'm going to cover all of these in the comprehensive reading. We're going to talk for like another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards. So if you want to join, the link is down in the description box down below. Let's see what comes out for the Devil. What else does Scorpio need to know about the Devil? We have the King of Coins, a Knight of Coins, Two of Swords, And for the environment, what else does Scorpio need to know about their environment? Six of Wands, Page of Swords, Hermit. Okay. So for the Five of Swords, what else does Scorpio need to know for the Five of Swords? Six of Swords, another Nine of Wands, and a Tower. All right, not surprising. We have a Three of Coins, a Five of Wands, and a Seven of Wands. Beautiful page. Ooh, another Knight of Coins. And another Devil. A Nine of Swords. Wait, hold on. What was this? The Seven of Cups? Yeah, Seven of Cups with the Nine of Swords. Six of Coins. King of Swords. For some reason, I'm not liking that King of Swords very much. Eight of Wands, Four of Cups, Judgment, Strength, Nine of Coins. Oh, beautiful. The Lovers, Ace of Swords, Five of Coins. Relationships are likely to be on the docket for all Scorpios. It might be romantic, might not be. If you're single, I think there are things for you to be looking forward to. Beautiful. And Four of Swords. Okay. All right. So this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Thank you, Scorpio. I love you. Have an amazing July, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.